Let's do XFL uniforms, and then we'll get into the other thing to close it out. XFL uniforms. They released them, it was like a week ago. We talked about it.
Yeah, I think it was the day before we recorded last week.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about it on the podcast, so it's fine.
No, you still haven't given us your team. Everybody knows my team. I had the shirt on last week.
I didn't say it?
No, when they announced the teams, I immediately had mine, and you said you had to wait to see the uniforms and things like that. I think I know who you want it to be.
I thought I told you.
You told me you were leaning one way.
Let me make sure I get.
But you've never
right.
officially made your announcement to the people.
Right, I just want to make sure I got the name right.
Yeah.
I'm officially committing today in the XFL universe to the San Antonio Brahmas. Hey, yo.
What's up?
Welcome back to the Who Effin' Knows podcast, episode 1337. For my gamer friends out there, you know what that means. The official podcast of people who sit in a room together and scroll through their phones without speaking to each other for hours. And guys who like to make a lot of noise with microphones.
Yeah, that's going to sound great. I'm just trying to – we got this new setup. I don't know how I want to sit.
It's my fault.
No, I like the setup. I'm not a fan of change in general, but
well, that's an interesting first topic.
Oh,
no. So full disclosure, guys, it's
been
been
21-point loss.
Yeah. So we're recording as the Pelicans game is ending right now. Fully came in here expecting to bang the drum about how good the Pels are, and we still can. Not too worried about tonight. It is what it is. It's just another loss.
Riding the high of that those Suns wins.
Yeah, I mean, I said this earlier in the season, and full disclosure, it's been 4 days since we recorded last, or something like it hadn't been that long, 5 days since we recorded last.
Yeah,
so I guess it's been a good bit of time.
We knew after the last episode it was going to be a quick turnaround.
Yeah,
Patty lives this luxury life where he goes on vacation every 2 weeks. So
I'm not. Well, I get it, it's not a real vacation. I'm going out of town for work. My company is doing a holiday party out of town, which I guess that's pretty dope. But yeah, so I have to fly out. But no, Pels lost tonight. It is what it is. There's 82 of these games. You know, I'm not too concerned with it. One thing that does jump out to me though, since we're just launching into that topic, just feels natural here. What is it with the Jazz? Like what? Why can't we beat the Jazz? Whatever.
I don't know.
You got nothing?
It's weird. It's just a weird.
It's very odd. I had a thought earlier. Is it because they're long? Is it because they're? I don't know. Like they don't have a clear cut all-star. They got some scorers. I genuinely they play good basketball, but even in years past, we just always have problems beating the Jazz, and I don't know what it is.
Well, years past made sense.
Well,
just
fair.
They were one of the better teams, but I don't know. It just seems like last game and this time when they play us, they just don't miss.
Yeah,
they just don't miss, and it was the same thing. We couldn't hit a shot last game, and then, I mean, also the last time we played them, you lose BI in the middle of the game. Didn't we lose Zion that game too? I think.
Yeah, we did.
Lose them both.
I'll be honest. That was the.
We were at that one.
Yeah, we were at that game. That was the night we did the sports drink little gathering. Got together with the Pels 12, which was amazing. Anybody who wasn't there, you missed out. Not plugging Pels 12 and sports drink, but they're great people. So go follow them if you don't. But I was obliterated. Honestly, I got really drunk.
You know, I was so cold in those seats. It was 85 degrees outside, but we sat in these seats. The air conditioner was here in front of us. They gave out shirts. I just started collecting the ones that nobody took and covered myself with them. But no, back to that. I have no idea what the what's up with the Jazz. It's this one. I just think think it has something to do with like I think there's something to all the energy that went towards beating the Suns back to back.
Yeah,
and they just catch you on an off night. Maybe it's something to trying to get. He didn't play that many minutes, but trying to get her back integrated. Gonna throw it off. Like I'm assuming when Bi comes back, it probably doesn't look great the first game or two. It always happens that way. And then people just bad games. CJ still doesn't look right. He looks off.
CJ's interesting to me. Like I don't understand it because he seems to be getting to his spots. He looks like CJ, right? But then there's other times where it almost seems like he wants to be that guy and he expects to be that guy, and he takes these insane shots where I'm just like, no, like literally verbally screaming at the TV like, why are you taking that shot? And it doesn't go in, and I feel bad because I don't want to talk bad about CJ because he's done a lot for the team culture-wise.
It's not talking bad about him. Calling a bad shot a bad shot.
Well, no, I know. I know. Like, I guess what I mean is, like, I don't want to be one of those guys banging the drum. Like, there's a lot of guys on Twitter who are just, like, fucking hating on CJ, like, want him gone. And I don't think that's going to be a positive thing for the team if he is moved in any way, shape, or form.
No, we mentioned it last week briefly, and I think maybe it's a real conversation to have about switching his role up a little bit.
He plays like a 6-man. Yeah, the ball sticks a good bit with him. Which granted he can dance a little bit on some people. Like he's getting shots.
Yeah, that's the thing. He feels like one of those guys where when he's off, he forces some shots to try to, I don't know, maybe just to see one go in but and I don't really have a problem with him doing that. I hate when he does it in the clutch times. Yeah. Like when we went the last game when we were at, like that one, you know what I'm talking about, where he throws it up, and I think all of us were like, no. Like, what are you doing, man? And it goes in, and we're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Those are the ones where I'm like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't be saying anything.
Yeah,
like, he's going to make it. Like,
I don't know. I heard him say, I don't remember what he was on. It might have just been one of the post-game interviews where he said he still has like some lingering effects from whatever he was dealing with. I don't know. It's not like he's not fit. Like it's not a scheme thing. Obviously, like you said, he's getting the looks. It's not falling. He had was it last game or the game before? He actually looked like he might have been finding his groove again, and then. Yeah,
I think it's going to take time, and I think you alluded to something too that I was thinking a couple nights ago. We're on cloud 9, or we were on cloud 9. I think we still are, even with this loss. You're not going to stay the number 1 seed, and if you do, fucking awesome. But you're probably there's gonna be some ebbs and flows. You're gonna have some couple losses in a row. Sometimes you're gonna have some bad games. I think the hope is that by the time you hit the playoffs, you have Ingram playing, you have CJ playing. Everybody's played together enough that you know how to play together. I still don't know if the team knows how to play together with everyone healthy, and I think that is definitely something that I look at and wonder about.
Yeah, at this point, the reason that they're starting to play better, like Willie seems to have finally embraced the point Zion thing. They're doing all the things we talked about at the beginning of the season where they're not just posting Zion up play after play, getting them in motion, letting them take the ball up, and you just hope at this point that when BI comes back, like that doesn't change. Yeah. Like offense stays the same and BI just works his way into it. Because it's going to open up, it's going to open up some looks for him.
I agree, and I do also hope that they can stagger them a good bit. Like it's there's gonna be a lot of critics out there that are critiquing Willie's game management and his minutes that he's given to people, his rotations and stuff like that. But it's gonna take time to figure that out. I do want to see them staggered on top of playing them together. Like I think BI is gonna need time for BI to cook. It can't be a my turn, your turn thing. So I think that it's definitely going to take time to develop the chemistry of how that's going to work.
Yeah, I think this was the first game tonight where you kind of felt like you missed BI. Because, like, Zion was the only one doing anything. During the win streak, like, Trey's been hot. Other guys have been scoring. And then tonight, nobody but Zion can score. You feel like you really need that. You could have used that second guy that can just go get a bucket. And usually that can be CJ, but he's just been off. It just felt like the first time with him since he's been out that we really miss BI. But like you said, not overreacting to it. It is what it is.
How did
I don't even know what our next game is.
Side note, I think it's the Jazz again, no? In like 2
Maybe.
days?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It is. Jazz on December 17th, 2 days. I'll actually be in Atlanta. That's the night of my holiday party, which is going to be interesting. I'll figure it out. I'll walk into a random bar. My coworkers will have to realize how big of a Pelicans fan I am that night. Also, if you're still watching Boss Man, prepare. No, I was looking up. I wanted to see how well did Nikhil play tonight. Admittedly, I was trying to get my daughter to bed. There was a couple things going on, and I haven't rewatched the game.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I watched bits and pieces of it. I told you I've been running around today, so just kind of threw it on my phone, left it in the kitchen, and was running around.
I heard Joel when I was walking through making this drink before coming out here to record, as the game was a 20-point blowout. I heard him mentioning that Nikhil, or maybe it was AD, Nikhil earned some minutes in a rotation, so I just assumed he had a good game. And I know that
that's probably based off of his last couple he had. He had a huge game, I think, their last game.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I know he scored. What was it, 30 something?
Yeah, I was about to say it was definitely 20 plus.
Yeah, a couple nights ago. So kudos to him, man. I love
good for him.
It's kind of cool seeing guys like him, Josh Hart, excel, play well, their teams play well, and then them also show love back to the Pelicans. Like, there's no hard feelings where in the past you would see some shade always thrown. JJ Redick. But kudos to him.
You want to talk about the Suns guy that the announcer that keeps just
Eddie Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a clown. Like, why? First of all, if I'm Eddie Johnson, which I'm not, clearly, he's a former professional athlete. Like,
yeah.
Why are you even giving people the time of day?
He's the same one that said they should put Jose on his back last year in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, he did. He did. But, I mean, is he the one? Was he the one that said that they were pumping sound in? Which guy said that?
Yeah.
Come on. We have speakers that don't even work in the damn arena. They're not pumping sound in, okay? It's just not happening.
It's nobody wants to believe that we actually still now you're still gonna say we don't have a fan base. The arena was full on a weeknight for that game, and they still they're still taking shots at our fans and this and that. We're a passionate fan base.
Yeah, I mean, look no further than what the Saints used to do, right? The Dome was one of the loudest places in the NFL, and it was a given, right? And there was never reports of them pumping sound in. It's the same fans.
Yeah, it's because
to an extent.
I mean, all they're doing is going back and looking at how they used to come on a Tuesday night and it'd be empty, and now they're coming on a Tuesday night and it's full. So they're like, "Oh, these fans just got here." No, man, it was a Tuesday night. Why am I going to go out there, spend the money to go watch a terrible product against, you know what I mean? There's more to it than just the team, the fan. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know how I'm trying to phrase it, but it's just all of a sudden, we're going to show up now. It's worth going. It's not free to go out there. It's not always easy to go out there to a game. It's got to be worth it.
Absolutely. Especially
I paid $900 a year for my Saints season tickets, and I ain't been going because it's an extra $100-something every time I go.
Absolutely.
Because it's miserable.
That's
if you want to call me a bad fan because of that, go for it.
No, fuck it.
I got bills.
I get it. I'm the same way, man. I am the exact same way. I'm not randomly. I was the guy. I didn't have I used to have Saints season tickets, but I was the guy recently who would just buy tickets to 4 games a year.
Yep.
And I would go drop hundreds of dollars at every game I went to. And there's no point Saints wise to do that this year, but Pelicans, it's the same way. Even if the ticket, even if I buy a ticket for $30, I'm going to go and spend a lot of damn money doing that. I'm also going to drive from the North Shore. If it's a weeknight, I'm not getting back until midnight. There's a lot that goes into it. So you definitely weigh those factors. I don't know. Fuck him.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the end of that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. If we keep going at people's necks and being loud as hell in the blender and stay the number 1 or 2 seed, like they're gonna have to see us and hear us. So it is what it is.
That's right.
That's it.
New Orleans versus L, y'all.
Yeah, New Orleans versus everybody. We put a bow on that fucking conversation. We had nothing to talk about before we sat down, and here we are. What? I don't even know. What's our time?
We're only at 15 minutes.
That's good, though.
I started watching this new show last night. You want to hear about it? They have
Yeah.
this show on Netflix called 1899, I think is what it is. You heard about that?
No.
So I saw people talking about it. So I just finished Wednesday.
So you just started it and you finished Wednesday?
No, I just finished the show Wednesday.
I feel like, you ever see that news broadcast where he's yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, so I just finished that show, which was great. I'm a big Addams Family guy, so
I want to watch that.
It's good. You should watch it. I thought it was gonna be a little childish, but it's not. It's very good.
Well, that girl's.
But anyway,
before I say what I was gonna say.
So then there's what?
I was gonna say something about the girl, and then I was like, "Wait, how old is she?"
Yeah, cut that.
Yeah, let me stop.
There's another show on there that I saw people talking about called 1899. So it's like about these people are on a ship, and it's a bunch of like immigrants on a ship coming to America, and they get there's another ship.
Yes.
They're both. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I haven't watched it yet.
Dude,
I saw I was scrolling through Netflix the other day, and I saw the preview for it, and I was like,
watch it.
Want to watch that?
Watch it. I'm not done. I'm only on like the 4th episode, but I'm like, it's one of those shows where it's just confusing as hell. Like, but it's good.
So tell the rest of the premise.
Okay, so they're it's immigrants on a ship coming to America. There's another ship that was made by the same company that got lost at sea. Nobody has seen it, heard from it, whatever. And then the one ship with all the immigrants keeps getting, all of a sudden starts getting random, I don't know what it's called, messages. Yeah. It's the same message like over and over again. They think it's from the ship, so then they eventually find the other ship. And then I don't want to start saying too much from there.
I didn't know they found the ship.
Well, I think that's in the preview.
Oh, my
bad. But if it's not, spoiler. But anyway, so from there it just starts like every episode what they do is they kind of focus on like one person in a way. It starts with like them having a flashback, like a character having a flashback, and then the whole episode is kind of based off of that thing.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, it's trippy. It's a cool show. But I started last night and I watched it for like 4 or 5 hours straight because it's just I was hooked.
I used to have time to do that stuff, and now I have no time to watch shows anymore. Like I want to. These days, like I'm trying to catch up on Yellowstone with my wife because she's never seen it. So like we're like halfway through season 1. I was all the way through season 4, but yeah, I haven't seen any of season 5 because I'm trying to catch her up, and then she was sick, so we haven't. Anyways,
I've never watched Yellowstone. I need to. I've been wanting to for a while.
Buddy.
I'm actually the same way. So like I used to watch shows all the time. Like when Game of Thrones was out, and I don't even want to. That's a bad example because even new Game of Thrones, like that was the first time in a while. Like Sunday nights were dedicated to watching a show. But like I had other shows that I really like to watch, and every week I just sit down and watch them all. But then I just kind of got away from it. It's not that I don't have time because I work night shifts, so it's like I have nothing to do. But now I guess I'm just back in that zone. I used to just like play games and stuff. Now I'm kind of just burnt out on that. Now I'm just back to mind-numbingly watching shows. I don't know. My brain feels overworked, so I'm just kind of chilling and just watching shit.
Good for you. You should do more of that.
I need to.
Whatever you need to do to decompress, man. I'm all for it. Myself, decompressing. I've been making a lot of fancy cocktails lately. I don't know if anybody. Well, if you do follow me on Twitter, you're probably listening to me.
Did this episode?
I made 2 old fashions before. I can go get the stuff and come back and cut to it. I'll make a drink. No, we have a like holiday cookie party coming up on Christmas Eve that we do, or we've been trying to do every year, minus last year because I had COVID. So I'm one of those people when I plan parties that I over plan, not in a sense of like all the other details, but like I like to make cocktails, so I'm looking at like different cocktails I want to make for Christmas. So I'm just literally toying with ideas.
Interesting.
So if you haven't seen the things I've posted so far, I think so far it's basically an espresso martini. Anybody out there that's interested?
You're speaking my language.
Basically an espresso martini, which I'll make you one before you leave if you want. I'm 2 cocktails in. We can get going.
I gotta be up at 4 for work.
I got work in the morning too. It is what it is. We'll sleep. It'll be fine. Basically an espresso martini with some rum chata, and it's topped with like toasted marshmallows, which is kind of cool. So not your traditional espresso martini. And then like a Christmas margarita, which is like black cherry and other stuff, which is cool.
Speaking of roasted marshmallows, I think my son's a pyro.
Nice. Tell me more.
We went to Gulfport and went to the Harbor Lights thing I was telling you about. I think I told you about that. I think it was you I was talking to. Anyway, that's basically their celebration in the Oaks. And they got a little section where you can go and buy the s'mores kit, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got fire set up. And he wanted to roast them, but all he really wanted to do was just set the marshmallow on fire and just stare at it and watch it burn. he would catch it on fire and be like, yeah.
Okay. I like this, though.
Didn't want to eat it. He just wanted
okay. Well, it still brings up an interesting
Well,
conversation.
he wanted to eat the non-cooked marshmallows. He doesn't like the roasted marshmallows. He just likes the marshmallows.
So my son was the same way. When we I would try to take him camping, and like I had a fire pit in my backyard, which I need to get one here, but I had a fire pit in my backyard, and I would always like, it was an exciting thing for me with him. I'd be like, oh, let's roast some marshmallows. Let's make some s'mores. He didn't like s'mores. And I was like, what the fuck?
See, so I don't like s'mores either, but the weird thing is I like every single thing that makes a s'more. Like I could eat marshmallows for days. I don't love like chocolate's not my favorite thing, but I'll eat it. And then like I could eat a whole bag of graham crackers like easily. But I just don't like the combination of stuff together.
So this rolls into a fun topic that I want to do. We could have closed with this, but we're not going to close with this. We're going to get into something we like to call this is a new game we're going to play.
Might replace top 5.
It
is definitely replacing top 5 this week.
Definitely, we don't have a top 5. Underrated, overrated, or properly rated. Since you're starting, since we're talking about s'mores, it wasn't even on my list, but we could start with s'mores. Underrated, overrated, or properly rated.
For me personally, overrated.
Overrated.
For all the reasons I just said. I love all the contents of it, but together I just don't think it's a good combination of stuff. But it's a weird thing. I mean, I understand why people like it, but to me, they're just overrated. They're not for me, is how I want to say it.
I think for me, it's a nostalgia thing. It's not underrated. Like, I'm not gonna go that far. I'm gonna say properly rated, but like, it's definitely a nostalgia thing. Like being a kid, being at a campfire with like my grandpa, or like going on a camping trip. I don't know. Like making a s'more was like exciting. Melted chocolate. I like chocolate though. Full disclosure, with like a roasted marshmallow, and I'm the guy that like burns the marshmallow. So when you said your son was burning the marshmallow and staring at it, like I laughed because I was like, yeah, I do the same thing. But I actually like to eat burnt marshmallows. I'm probably a weirdo. Like I know a lot of people out there probably don't do that. I will literally like light it on fire and stare at it, just like your son, and then eventually it'll burn out, and then I'll put it on a graham cracker and eat that shit.
No,
just say
not for me.
What else we got? Let's do some more.
You had a list.
Let's do some more of these.
Did you have a whole list?
I have a whole fucking list.
You just asked me inside if we had anything. Did you just come up with those about 20 minutes ago?
I did. I was just writing shit down.
I can see his phone. I can't see what they say, but there's at least 25.
No, they're not that great though, so it's fine. All right, so let's start with it. It's almost Christmas. Flocked Christmas trees. Underrated, overrated, or properly rated?
Overrated. What a mess. Overrated. What a mess.
Totally fair.
Look good, but as far as dealing with it, now, to be fair, I am not a fan of real Christmas trees. Like I like when other people have them because I can go to your house and it smells great, but I would never want to deal with a Christmas tree. Also, being a firefighter, if it makes me like, I'm blanking on the word I'm looking for, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I feel that. You're triggered. It's
it's just like I don't like it.
Yeah,
but I just what a pain in the ass that is.
When I was younger, I wanted a flock tree so bad, and as I've gotten older, like if you bring a flock tree in my house,
what a mess, man.
like
a real tree. A real tree as it is already somewhat. messy.
I vacuum like every day. Well, not every day, but
Yeah,
like
you
every
got
other
big
day.
ass tree in there too.
Yeah, I'm literally like we went to a tree farm. I don't know if you've ever done. Well,
See, the idea of that is cool to me. Like going to, but my father-in-law does a real tree, so I get to do that with my son for them. So I don't have. It's like I get to do the fun part of it without having to deal with the tree.
You know what the cool thing was? Like, so when I thought of a tree farm, my wife was like, "Hey, there's this tree farm," and I immediately was like, "Hell no." Because when I think of tree farms, I see the movies where like they go with their own saw and they like saw the damn thing down. Well, she was like, "Well, they cut it down for you," and I was like, "Oh, they cut it down for you? Like I don't have to cut it down?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, let's go."
What a
Screw it.
wild idea that you would have to go and cut it down
I don't
yourself.
want to cut down my own damn tree. What am I, a freaking lumberjack?
This tree's gonna be $200. Just go ahead and cut it down yourself.
You know what the beauty was?
I know you didn't pay that much.
I did not spend that tree in there was $80.
Yeah, it's a big ass tree.
It's huge. It's like a 10-foot tree. $80. They cut it down for me. They drug it to the front for me, put it in my truck for me. $80. Not tipped. But you go to Home Depot or like one of the tree lots, you're spending like $220 on one of those trees.
Yeah.
On a tree that size. So go to a tree lot, dude, or not a tree lot, but a tree farm. It's cheap. Anyways, let's do some more of these. These are fun. Weddings. We're both married. I think this is a fair conversation to have. Like,
properly rated. It's tough because it depends on the wedding. Every wedding is different.
I agree. I think it depends on the person throwing the wedding too, right? That like you could definitely argue that they're overrated because you could take all that money and you could do a lot of other things with it.
Oh, see, I'm looking at it as going to weddings.
Oh, okay. Well, you could. Okay, that's fair.
That's how I took it.
Okay.
Weddings in general, still properly rated. To each his own. Properly rated.
Going to weddings definitely properly rated. Actually, going to weddings, I'm gonna say underrated. Free bar, like
that's what I'm saying.
Bar
It
and
depends
food,
on it depends on the wedding. Like I don't know. To be fair, I've never been invited to a wedding that wasn't open bar. So I've never had one where I had to bring my own.
My sister. So my sister she had a dry wedding, for personal reasons, and it was kind of weird to be honest. But it was fine. It was a beautiful wedding. Like the actual wedding was beautiful. The ceremony, the food was good, but it was like weird. Just like I'm not a like big dancer in front of my family. So like being there without alcohol and like them playing music when people are like, "Oh, go dance." I'm like, no.
Is it bad if I say
No.
my wedding overrated?
Was your wedding overrated? Let's stop.
It's because it's kind of from what
this.
you just said. Like you're not big into the like I've told you this and said it on here multiple times. I don't do well in crowds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like attention on me. Now the drinking part of it, where somebody was just constantly making sure I had a drink in my hand, great. But like my wedding, I just wanted to sit at our, they give you your own table.
Right.
I just wanted to sit there and watch other people do their thing. Like that's how I am when I go out. That's what I want to do at my wedding. I didn't like being forced into a crowd. I didn't like feeling like I had responsibilities to do things. It's so stressful.
Yeah.
Like all day long, I'm stressed because like having to read my vows was like a terrifying thing to me. Even though it's people that I know, you would think it makes it easier. That was a terrifying thing for me. I literally had to chug 2 beers 5 minutes before we went out just to like be able to calm my nerves and do it. Because like the idea of getting married didn't bother me. We had already been together like 5 years, so
Right.
And we had a kid. Like nothing changed. So like that didn't bother me. It was the fact that I would have so much attention on me and be in this big crowd. Like I didn't like it. So that's why I say overrated. Like if it could have just been like I wanted, but it's weird because I wanted to have as many people there as I could possibly have. Like I wanted all my friends there, and like everybody that I've ever considered a friend, I wanted there because I wanted it to be like a party with my friends. But then when it was in the moment, I was like, I don't like this.
So I've been like patiently waiting my turn.
Sorry, I was
No. I totally get that, and it actually is something like I didn't necessarily think of, right? Because I think that it's definitely it's a personality thing. For me, for my wedding, I wanted all of that. Like I love. This sounds so self-centered and like cocky. I love the attention being on me. I love knowing there's 130 people there for me and my wife, like or me, whatever. And And not like I'm not a big dancer. Like I'm not gonna go dance in front of my family. Like I think that's a little weird. But I still was like on the dance floor and I was like hyping people up and like it was fun. But I'm not gonna be like I kind of drew the line in some areas that I wouldn't when I'm just with my friends or like just out with my wife. But like I don't know. Like I planned that wedding so heavily because I wanted to throw like this just massive party that was just fun for everybody. Like I wanted everybody to look back at that wedding and be like, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, see, when I went to like my buddy, when we went to his wedding, like I was in it and everything, and like I had a blast. Like I did the dancing thing. Granted we had been drinking all day long.
Yeah.
And my little cousin, who's like my little sister, we went out to Dallas for her wedding. Like same thing. Like we had drank all day long. I guess it was because I just didn't know anybody there. I don't know. It's weird that in that like it's just kind of the same situation, but because it was mine, like I just
yeah. Well, it's interesting because my wedding I planned on being a little looser, and I don't know if it was nerves. I've been nervous in my life before, but something about my wedding day, I didn't I felt weird. They were force feeding me drinks, and I just wasn't drinking because I was like, my stomach hurt. Like I felt weird. Like I wasn't sick, and it wasn't a bad experience, but it was just like, it was different.
Yeah, I was good all day. We went like night before we went out to because you don't stay together the night before, so we went. Me and my groomsmen and my uncle and a couple of family members stayed out on the Gulf Coast in Biloxi and went out to Ocean Springs. Like we just drank and partied out there, and then next morning we went grab lunch, just drank at lunch. Like we just drank all day, and I don't know. I guess because we were drinking all day, like I was just in a vibe. Like I was good, but then once we got there and I had stuff to do, I was like, I don't want to do this. Like
maybe that's what it was. So full disclosure, my wife was I get after it. Like she knows I like to party and have a good time. And she, leading up to the wedding, she kept telling me, like, hey, don't get drunk the night before because I can't have you hungover for the wedding. And I'm like, okay. So the night before, we all went out. I mean, we went hard. And I got drunk, but I didn't get wasted. And the next day, I was like, maybe I was hungover. I don't know. I was a little sick, but I didn't throw up or anything. But I was, like, just kind of tired or whatever, had stomach hurt. And, like, the day of, we went to brunch, and I think like in the back of my mind, I knew, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this. I had all these things to do. So like my friends are like, oh, let's drink, let's get wasted, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, no, like I was like, yeah, let's do it. But I wasn't drinking. So I started getting questions like, are you okay? Are you nervous? Like, what's wrong? I'm like, no, dude, like I'm fine. I don't know. Like I'm just chilling. It was different.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like you said, it's a personality thing, I guess.
All right, but let's get back into sports.
Yeah.
Overrated, underrated, properly rated. Zion Williamson.
Underrated.
100%.
Underrated.
100%. And I think Pels fans, it's a fine line because some Pels fans may. I don't even know if anybody overrates him right now because we don't know what he's gonna be.
I think the narrative nationally is starting to change. Like this little stretch. He's starting to get some love, for sure.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's interesting too because, and not to be a hot take guy, I'm not a hot take guy. I do throw some things out from time to time. Coming into this year, there was a lot of this is Brandon Ingram's team. This is Brandon Ingram's team. This is BI's team. This BI this, BI that, and it. Listen, BI is a fucking dog, but the Zion we saw over the last week or so here, 2 weeks. And the Zion that was at Duke were the same guy, right?
Yeah.
Like that's who you expected. And if that's the Zion you're going to continue to get, and he's going to continue to get better, listen, I love Brandon Ingram, but
well, you know what it was for me? Not even so much his play, because I mean this was easily the best stretch he's ever had. But we've seen him be great already. It was his personality came out finally.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I mean.
That's what did it for me. Like he was talking shit.
Yeah.
Like he was buying into the crowd. Like that's all it took. I think like B.I.'s a quiet guy, but when we would have big games, like he would be on the court, like talking and he had I think it was last year where he had was walking down the court like, this is my city.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
I love that. And that's
Yeah.
why we love BI too, right? Because he was talking shit to LeBron. He called him Rick, like all these things, right? Which goes back to like when they're both together, like this could be nasty, but we're going to see. But I agree. At the moment, underrated for sure. For sure. Who knows what he could be like?
It's so crazy. Like I don't think he's hit his peak yet at all.
He hit. You're starting to see him hit threes. Like
you're starting to see him turn a little corner on defense.
Yeah, he's playing defense. He's hitting threes.
He knows right now like nobody can stop him.
Yeah,
and that's
the thing. Like he's buying into defense as well. Like he knows nobody can stop him on offense, and a lot of players do that, and they're like, that's just what they do. And then on defense, they're like, like they kind of check out.
Right.
That's not what he's doing.
No. Which
is awesome. I think it was the play. A lot of people were pointing to, obviously, the dunk at the end of the game. They were pointing to him. I think against the Suns, the first game, Jose set a screen, and he had that nasty dunk. And people are pointing to that play like, oh, he's a superstar. That wasn't I tweeted that, Zion Williamson's a fucking superstar. That wasn't the play that made me do it. The play that made me do it was like a play later or 2 plays later. He had a defensive play where he shot somebody was passing the ball. He shot the ball, stole it, and went full court and slammed it. And I was like, oh.
It was a couple games before that for me where it's kind of the same thing where he went down, had a big bucket, then he gets the steal where he like slingshots the dude into the scorers table.
Yeah.
And then he gets the dunk. I was like, all right, he's here. Like this is it.
Yeah, that was wild. Who did he throw into the table?
I don't remember.
It was a big name guy. I can't remember who it was right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's nasty. I can't wait to see where it goes. Like I'm so excited. Do we want to keep doing this overrated, underrated? We want to.
You had a couple other topics. Let's talk.
Yeah, let's move to other stuff. Do you want to do? Let's do XFL uniforms, and then we'll get into the other thing to close it out. XFL uniforms. They released them, it was like a week ago. We talked about it.
Yeah, I think it was the day before we recorded last week.
Yeah, but we didn't talk about it on the podcast, so it's fine.
No, you still haven't given us your team. Everybody knows my team. I had the shirt on last week.
I didn't say it?
No, when they announced the teams, I immediately had mine, and you said you had to wait to see the uniforms and things like that. I think I know who you want it to be.
I thought I told you.
You told me you were leaning one way.
Let me make sure I get.
But you've never officially
right.
made your announcement to the people.
Right, I just want to make sure I got the name right.
Yeah.
I'm officially committing today in the XFL universe to the San Antonio Brahmas.
Beautiful.
I don't know what the chant is, but I wish I could say it. But yeah, go Brahmas.
It's the people's chant.
The people's chant. There you go. Fucking love it. No, but the uniforms came out and it solidified what I was thinking because the Brahmas uniforms are fucking fire.
I had a hard time focusing on the uniforms.
I was gonna get
and you know why?
Yeah.
I need everybody to just go back and look at the reveal of the uniforms and just pay close attention to the mannequins. Oh, what a time.
Very interesting.
The XFL feels a little low budget on that in that moment.
We're gonna see. The XFL has had many iterations, right? And they've been up and down. I'm hoping
nothing will ever top the original.
No,
XFL.
No. Good Lord.
As wild as it was,
Jim Ross calling football games.
It's the best thing on earth.
the King Jerry Lawler and good old JR calling football games. That was phenomenal.
The
scrum
the best part was how they would start the game.
Yeah, the scrum.
Yeah.
Just throw the ball out there. Whoever gets it, you got the ball first.
Oh, God.
Fucking awesome. Phenomenal. No, I am excited about the XFL. Those mannequins were something else. I'm not going to go too much into that, but it didn't connect with football for me. Let's just put it that way. Looked like a bougie store mannequin. The AFL might become. Did you see that?
I saw Logan tweet about it.
Yeah,
but I didn't. I didn't get to look into it much. Like I went to the official AFL Twitter, and it's still like their last tweet is still like their announcement of it ended.
All right, maybe I'll look into it more.
I need to look into it more too because I'd be pretty excited about that.
Yeah, you like the EFL?
Dude, Voodoo games were the shit.
I had season tickets. I wasn't a big fan, to be honest with
Voodoo
you.
was so much fun. And we got I had a buddy that would get like Arena Bowl tickets every time, and it was here for like 2 or 3 years straight. I remember.
Full disclosure, when I had Voodoo tickets, I have a big head, which you guys kind of saw a little while ago when I was talking about myself. I can get cocky. They sucked. The Voodoo sucked, and I was playing flag football at the time, and I had won some championships, and I'm looking at the quarterback, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I am better than you. Like, what is going on out there? Like. So, like, for me, it was kind of a joke, which I'm not. I'm probably not. Like, the dude was former. I don't want to throw him under the bus because he's local, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But, yeah, I don't know. I never took it super serious. There was a couple good guys on the team, like PJ Walker. PJ Walker.
I don't know. I don't remember anybody.
There's a couple good guys on the team that ended up playing in the NFL, but I don't know. I was never super into it.
I like it. I'm all for all forms of football. Just give me more. I'll take the USFL, the whatever. Like, I don't care. Give me all of it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's always fun. You like the what's it called? Fan-led football or?
Sure. Never watched it, but sure.
Johnny Manziel's a dog in that league. I think he's like smoking joints on the sideline too. Like, I don't know what's happening in that league.
The Lingerie League, that's a fun one.
That is a fun one. That's a very fun one. I've only seen a couple games. But
yeah, I don't think I've never seen a game. I just see when every so often when it would go viral on Twitter, I would see a highlight.
It used to come, like, I forget what channel it was on. It was years ago. I used to randomly catch it, and I'd be like, what the fuck? And then, obviously, I would watch it. I'm like, oh, fuck. Come on. A bunch of fit women running around. Like, I don't know. If I'm attracted to them, it's probably going to be something that catches my eye. Let's be honest. Anyways, let's move on from the XFL uniforms. Let's close out with something I was thinking earlier, and with this can have a couple iterations, right? We can do current. We can do all time.
Just do both.
We'll do both. I don't have a list. I know I just said it earlier, and you came up with a list. We're going to go to close this thing out.
I wrote 2 people down.
Favorite players from each major professional American probably league, because like we're not going to go. Yeah. I don't have soccer on this list, which I could, but
I could give you an all time, but actually that's not even. I don't know if it's. Yeah, it is American, but I don't know.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with favorite player from the MLB today, and then all time. Let's do both.
Today. So usually I try to do the thing where I don't pick somebody from my own teams.
So no Rangers. Don't do it.
No Rangers, no Marlins, but that's really where my
Marlins,
that's really where my favorite players are. It feels like a cop out to say Mike Trout, but I love Mike Trout.
He's phenomenal. He's a good player.
Actually, you know what? Tim Anderson is probably my 9.
Who?
The shortstop for the White Sox.
Okay.
Any player that plays with attitude in baseball and hates the unwritten rules is a favorite player of mine.
Yeah, you're gonna love my favorite player.
Go ahead.
Javi Baez.
Okay.
Hands down, Javi Baez. My wife doesn't even like Javi Baez because of how cocky he is. And she was a Cubs fan for years. She's still a Cubs fan, but like, yes, he was like the one guy on the team where she'd be like, "What the fuck is he doing? Why is he such an asshole?"
Yeah, if I could have picked like one of my players, it would have been Jazz Chisholm.
That's fair.
It's kind of the same thing where he just plays with that kind of swag and it's fun.
I love it. You need more of that in baseball.
Absolutely.
Fix baseball.
Yeah.
Unwritten rules. You want to talk unwritten rules? Or you want to keep going down this head?
Fuck the unwritten rules.
That could have been a good topic today. I wouldn't think about that.
We'll save it because we'll go on for a long time if we start talking about it.
Well, it's interesting because I wrote that piece not too long ago about Zion's dunk, and one of the things I alluded to was unwritten rules in basketball. So, and there's many in many sports. We'll get into that. We'll unpack that one day. All time,
Griffey.
I think it's Griffey for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's not even close. Like there's Ichiro would probably be well, again, I don't like to do my own team, but like Adrian Beltre. would have been a close second.
Yeah.
But Griffey was my number 1, and then Ichiro was close behind him.
Man, if I had to pick a runner-up to Griffey,
It's not close. Like it's not
close.
close at all.
Like there's so many names that come into my head, but none of them are like, oh yeah, like that. Like Greg Maddux, maybe. He was a dog.
Yeah, it's not close for me.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. NBA today and then all time.
Who's your favorite today?
I'll go first. Today, my favorite. If I'm leaving Pels out of it, feels right to leave Pels out of it. If I'm leaving Pels in it, I'm going Zion. If I leave Pels out of it, I'll go Luka. Whiny James Harden 2.0.
Yeah, I catch flack because I say often that I don't like Luka's game. Not saying he's not
fair.
good. It's not saying he's not a good player.
It's a fair thing to say.
I hate James Harden's game.
Yeah.
So like you say, it's the same thing. My favorite right now, I think Giannis. He's low key hilarious.
He is funny.
That interview he had the other day. You saw that?
No, was it his birthday?
Yeah, they were asking him what he wanted for his birthday. Like he's hilarious. I love Giannis.
That's a good one. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. All right, all time.
Vince Carter.
Ooh.
Easy. Like there's not. It's the same. It's the Griffey thing. Not even close. For me.
Really? All right, that's interesting. I'm not going Vince Carter.
I don't want to say not even close because Allen Iverson's.
Yeah, I was
close.
going to say, like you said, Vince Carter. Mine's Allen
But
Iverson.
no, it's Vince Carter for me, hands down. I love Vince Carter. Like when I played basketball, I always wore 15 for Vince Carter.
That's cool. Yeah, it's definitely Allen Iverson for me. It's him. It's literally my Twitter. If anybody has ever looked at my Twitter page, it's my header. I didn't even have a story or why. Like,
Who's your most favorite obscure player? Like, so you want me to give you what I'm thinking?
I've got one, but yeah.
Go ahead.
Give me
Go ahead. I want to. No, go ahead. I want to see what you say.
He's not obscure. It's just something.
Just like a random person, not like a.
People are gonna be like, why? J.R. Smith.
Mine was Stephon Marbury.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Because you know what it was? Remember he had his Marbury shoes?
Yeah.
I used to love those when I was a kid. They were like, I never used to get to spend hundreds of dollars on basketball shoes.
Yeah.
And he had these little cheap shoes, and I was like, I like this guy. And then I grow up and I realized
Starberry.
yeah, it was Stephon Marbury for me growing up.
Yeah.
Like my random player that I used to really love.
I just loved J.R. Smith, man. First of all, he's a fucking goofball. He's a character. He started with the Hornets, and that's obviously where I found him. And then, just following him through his career, he was one of those guys, too, where I play video games. I still play video games. And on 2K, he was unstoppable. Back in the day on 2K, I forget what it was called. There was, free run on NBA Live, but, you could basically pick a player and then go play against other people in, a 5-on-5 game. And I would always pick J.R. Smith. And I would drop 40. And people would be like, what the fuck? Why can't I stop him? He was just nasty.
That's funny.
I don't know. He was a dog.
I love
JR. College athlete.
College.
Yeah.
Oof.
He's a college athlete right now.
That's my favorite college
Golfer.
player. I don't know.
That's not even one that I brought up. Golf.
Well, there's only one answer for all-time golf.
That's fair. Jack Nicklaus, right?
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
That was. Did you probably didn't watch it? The match the other day. You care about that at all?
The what?
The match.
No.
Where it was Tiger and Rory versus Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth, and it's my favorite tournaments now for Tiger. Is that the one with his son? His personality really gets to come out.
It's good for golf.
Yeah,
to be honest.
100%. There was a moment though where they're and Charles Barkley commentates.
Yeah.
So there's a moment.
And they talk back and forth, right?
Yeah, there's a moment where.
Yeah.
So the first one, when it was him and Phil, they were betting $100,000 on holes and stuff like that. It was crazy. This one, there's a moment where Justin Thomas is hitting from the sand, and he's wearing shorts. And Chuck goes, Justin Thomas. He's like, Justin, I really like your calves. It's you got a good calf on you. And he's like, Chuck, I appreciate that, but I would also appreciate if you never talk to me like that again. And then they're joking around for a minute, and they go, Tiger, how about your calves? Tell us about yours. Tiger goes, yeah, I got a nice calf.
Yeah.
He almost lost his leg.
Yeah. I think I saw that somewhere on Twitter. I was laughing at it.
Yeah, that's fun. That the tournament with their kids is coming up pretty soon too. So that'll be cool to see Charlie be a better golfer than I'll ever be in my life.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Already.
Right?
Anyway, what sport you got next?
What's your best golf round ever?
I don't. I've never gone under 100, so I don't know.
What a pussy.
Yeah, I don't play enough, so
I don't either.
I will say, like, last year, I was like hammering home, like trying to break 100, and I was at like 130 to start the year. By the end of the year, I got to like 105. So
yeah,
cut a lot of strokes off. But like if I commit to it, I can be decent. But I'm not good at golf.
It's funny because like golf's that hard of a sport, right? Like I'm one of those guys that like I say I'm a natural. That means that like I haven't played golf in a year. I could roll out of bed and shoot like a 120. Which is not good.
Yeah, that's me.
The best round I ever had was probably like I think it was like a 98 or 97. So I did break 100, and my dad. So I've played golf from a young age. My dad signed me up for like kids. I don't even remember what it was called. It was like kids golf, and I was in like the B League or some shit. Like I felt like I was good. So like I learned at a young age how to play. I learned etiquette, all that. My dad always harped on like you don't fudge your score. So, like, I don't move my ball.
Yeah.
Like, I don't just randomly take drops. I don't kick it in the fucking fairway. Like, when I play with people that do that, I mean, it's fine. Like, I'm getting drunk these days and playing golf. It doesn't matter. But they're like, yeah, just kick it in the fairway. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'll just fucking chip it out in the fairway. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't play enough. I've been saying for a couple of years now, like, I just need to go get, like, a couple lessons. I don't care to be, like, super good at golf. I just want to be average, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how.
Just go get a couple lessons and I'll be all right.
All right, what sport are we on? NBA, all-time, we said that. NFL.
Currently, I'm going to say Jalen Waddle.
Ooh, that's fun.
Because I love his little celebration.
Yeah, that's fun,
The
man.
Waddle is all-time top celebration. Not the best celebration, but it's up there. It's like a signature celebration, one of the best. I like Jalen Waddle a lot. Second would probably be Nick Chubb.
That's fun. I like the Jalen Waddle pick. I don't have a pick. I'll be honest. For NFL,
it's tough. Now. NFL right now. Probably my top 10 favorite players are all Saints. Like, to be honest, like, number one would be like AK and then Mike and Sean. Like,
yeah.
I could just rattle them off before I get to any other team.
Yeah.
And there's probably another one.
Pete's high on my list right now. If I can include Saints, Pete Werner.
I tend to fall in love with whatever player is carrying my fantasy team from year to year.
That's fair.
Is usually how it works.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. I don't know. I think if I have to pick a favorite player not on the Saints, I'm going Pat Mahomes. Oh no. I'm going Josh Allen.
That's fun. Just a wild time. What a wild ride it is to watch Josh Allen play football.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun, man. He's a lot of fun. You don't know if he's going to run through your face or throw it 90 yards,
or throw an interception, or fumble.
Who knows?
He's
winning games,
or jump over you. It's very fun.
Doesn't matter. He just finds a way to win. He's a football. He is what Taysom Hill should be.
It's one of those situations where it's like even if the Bills were going to be bad, at least you know you're about to get some excitement.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's been one of my main complaints about the Saints. Like, we suck, and it's not even like a fun suck.
It's a terrible suck.
Like, it's just miserable. Like, you want to turn the TV off. Like, if we were at least exciting, like the Lions over the last couple of years, like, they could at least be fun sometimes, you know, but they would lose all the time. But they'd have a fun offense.
I have a thought. You know how we would be fun and lose? There's a quarterback on the roster. It would be a lot of fun to watch lose. That sounds terrible. Like, he would be more fun to watch play while we lose.
I agree.
Not that Andy Dalton is, like, playing bad. He's actually not. But it would be a lot more fun to watch. I'll just say it. It'd be a lot more fun to watch Jameis play because he's just a fucking goofball.
I agree.
And he's going to do some shit that you're like, what? And then other times it's going to be like, why did you do that?
I think I'm going to just stay off of Twitter for about 2 days after every Saints game now. Actually, you know what? It's every morning. Somehow the Saints don't even play, and I wake up and they're debating Jameis and Andy. I'm like, bro, this is just – I'm over it, man. Give it a rest.
What was it the other day? Logan tweeted something, and it had nothing to do with the Saints or anything, and he pulled that conversation back in, and I was like, I don't know how you did this. Anyways.
I can't anymore. It's whatever. Move on. What are we at? We're on NFL.
All time.
Sean Taylor.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
And then Andre Johnson.
That's a
like 1A, 1B. Sean Taylor.
Yeah,
obviously, Miami ties there.
Sean Taylor's a good one. I think all time for me, I'm going Calvin.
Yeah, that's. I like that a lot.
Calvin's a dog. I love Calvin. Calvin Johnson was probably my favorite wide receiver of all time.
Yeah, Sean Taylor for me, and then Andre Johnson because of Miami. But then when he beat Cortland Finnegan's ass, it solidified it for me.
Oh, that's fun. Randy Moss too. Randy Moss is a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see Randy Moss now on TV. Yeah, he's fun. But like Randy Moss the player, holy shit.
I always like T.O. too.
Yeah.
Ocho.
I had a T-shirt that I made for a fantasy football draft one time. I named my team Straight Cash Homie, and my ex literally sketched a picture of Randy. It looked phenomenal. I don't know where it's at. I think I threw it away because it was all old and tattered. But she sketched Randy Moss's face with like the fro he had from back in the day, and it said Straight Cash Homie. Dude, it was like my favorite shirt for a long time.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Let's keep it moving. What sports next?
The ones we don't know.
The fucking talk. The NHL. I don't have an all-time.
I don't have an all-time. I can't not pick my team right now.
That's fair.
And I'm gonna say who it is, and you're gonna be like, who?
Yeah, I will.
His name, Shea Theodore.
I know. Yeah. Shay.
Yeah, that guy.
Shay. I know Shay.
You know Shay. We met. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen. Well, Shay's cousin actually worked at a place that I used to do business with.
Yeah.
And he had some cool stories. Shay's a guy. Shay's a guy.
He is a guy. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Good. Great at hockey.
Yeah.
What a hockey guy, right?
Let's do that hockey.
Alex Ovechkin.
Okay.
End of story. Let's move the fuck on. That's it for Who Effing Knows podcast. No.
It might be.
I mean, it is. That is it, by the way. But before we just log off, you're writing an article right now, right? What do you have?
Yeah, it's gonna take me a little while. We us talking about fixing the Saints last week.
Yeah.
Kinda got me to wanting to do that, I guess, because I feel like I didn't really give my real thoughts on it last week. Yeah, that's what I'm working on, fixing the Saints, but it's gonna take me a while because it's going to be a long way. It's going to be the longest thing I've written.
He sent us a screenshot of it earlier. I didn't read through the screenshot, but all I know is there was like 4 or 5 paragraphs on this fucking screenshot you sent, and I was like, God damn, this is going to be a long article.
That was just the beginning. Like, that was just introing it.
I don't know, man.
Nobody's going to read it except for y'all, maybe.
Yeah, they will. But, people read it.
It's more of like a venting.
That's fine.
Thing is what it is.
Put the emotion out that other people are feeling, and I guarantee people will read it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of just taking. So, like, for one part of it, just obviously it's talking about finding a new head coach, this and that, whatever. And I've taken different names that I've seen people throw out on Twitter and kind of ran with some of that. So,
Mike Tomlin,
that'd be cool.
Just a thought. I had that thought a little while ago. Man, Steelers fans are all over him. They want him gone, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Mike Tomlin gets fired. If we don't call him 10 seconds after we hear he was fired.
We didn't even talk about Sean.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
I didn't read that article. I just, whatever.
Well, I gave my thoughts on Twitter. The last person I'm going to trust as far as like what could happen. Also, I saw him in an interview, which he's covering all his bases. Let's put it that way. Jeff Duncan saying Sean Payton could come back to the Saints is a joke to me because he's the same guy that said Sean Payton was not retiring.
Yeah, I saw Nick. I haven't watched it yet, but he posted a link to, I guess, their latest podcast, and it was talking about what would it take for Sean to come back. So I'll go listen to that.
Yeah,
because I trust Nick a lot more than
definitely. Nothing against Jeff, but the track record for me is like all right. And in the one interview I saw him give, he was like, "It's a long shot. It's probably never gonna happen." But I'm hearing, and it's like, okay, so you're covering all your bases here. Like, what is it? Tell me what's going to happen.
I mean, quickly, you taking him back?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Over who?
Anybody.
Over Dennis Allen?
Yeah, I mean,
there's a question.
I don't know that there's a coach I would take over him.
Yeah.
And that's coming from somebody who has made it very clear about his feelings on Sean Payton. But I've covered my bases saying that there's only one way I forgive him.
I think I said this in our little personal. I think we have a Discord, our personal Discord we talk in, and I was like, "Fuck, what did I say?" Edit this out. No, it was something along the lines of like, did he take the year off to just recruit people? Technically, legally, right now, he could talk to whoever the hell he wants about whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Also, my cousin tweeted the other day, we're going to get Sean Payton and Tom Brady past their prime, aren't we? Like, they're both going to come to New Orleans
And
next
it would
year.
still be probably a better situation than we're in now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Let's close this thing out.
Yep.
He's writing How to Fix the Saints. I wrote, I don't remember what it was called, the biggest F you heard around the world or some shit like that. I didn't write the title. Ask Ethan.
We got merch.
We got merch. We do have merch. The Who Effin' Knows podcast hat right there. I'm wearing a Be in the Know hat. That's an Adidas hat, if you like Adidas.
Yeah.
It's like a dry fit type thing.
Tulane shirts.
Tulane shirts. We didn't even talk about Tulane. Feels like 98. No, 22.
We got another Tulane shirt. We started our Zion for MVP campaign.
MVZ.
New Orleans is a basketball city. We got a lot of shit out right now.
We do. We really do. And it's Christmas, so if there's anything you like, buy it. If you don't like it, give us feedback, dude. If there's something you want to see, we can do it, right? Like, just let us know. Podcast can be found everywhere, literally everywhere, wherever you want to find podcasts. Video version is on YouTube and Spotify now, right?
Yep.
Crazy. Spotify does video. Who knew? So we better see you on your Spotify Wrap next year, or see us on your Spotify Wrap next year. Follow me at @VPattyV. Follow
me at the Dave Rainey.
Yeah, he ripped off my name. It's fine. Follow at Be in the Know. Follow at Who Effin' Knows. Follow us.
Follow us on TikTok at Who Effin' Knows, because I'm starting to post more stuff there.
Yeah.
As you can see, if you follow us, we're playing around with the clips a little more.
Yeah. And if you like random shit like cocktails and food, follow me on Instagram. I post shit like that all the time. So it's at PVath Jr. My old Twitter handle.
Maybe you should try to throw more of that stuff on our Twitter.
I could do that.
Okay.
Until next time, folks. Who effing knows?
Yeah. Deuces.